How you doing, Fel?
I'm doing well. I'm just laughing at the name of the song as it was played in our music channel. I'm wondering what the gang is thinking while we're in here.
Right, I need to make like a hidden one just so no one can speculate with the weird songs I play. Like I put on like really intensive combat music and just see what they say when we get back. I've had people roll like ridiculous rolls during these moments just so people when they get back they're like, why are you rolling like thieves' tools in a dream sequence?
Should I do it now? They'll all see
yes.
it.
Oh, they might watch stream, but yeah, like just roll a random.
I want to roll something that like I won't do very well. Hold on, I'm gonna roll stealth and see what happens.
All right. Let's get you over to where you need to be and where I need to.
Hold on, my character sheet is in the way here.
So.
Ooh. How very fractal.
Right? Oh, that's like exactly what I called this place.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, Flotsam's fractal.
I'm a genius, everybody.
I'm a genius.
I'm a genius.
Alright, well, we don't want this to go on like forever just because game's starting and people are chilling.
Mm-hmm.
Assuming my stream is actually on, it looks like it. Yes, there it is. I can retweet that the thing's up and people are here. Alrighty. And let's loop these tracks just in case it stops and we don't want it to kick us off our beat.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Flotsam. Last we saw you were cracked in half like a Kit Kat.
A little bit of editorializing on your part, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know that I would say that.
I guess long way. You're like, yeah, you wouldn't. No one cracked Kit Kat. And it wasn't to share.
I'm happy with the Kit Kat. You're saying one singular Kit Kat,
right.
not like
not
two
whole,
that you push out of the pack. You have to,
because that would be down the middle, right? Like,
correct. We're talking horrors. I guess
if a humanoid was a Kit Kat, which way would they snap? Oh
Understood.
Man! So all you remember is being in the grasp of this weird creature that you still can't really identify for the life of you, and not really pain. I'm not sure how sentient to pain you are yet, if we've ever really discussed that.
I think he does feel pain, or like at the very least, like is aware of that there are things hurting him.
Yeah, it should feel.
I mean,
pain.
it's the same. Like not like maybe doesn't feel it the same way, but the same reason that like the pain response is there to warn you that something's wrong. Like I'm sure he has that sort of. Functionally, it is the same thing.
If you were built, why would they build you with the ability to feel pain? What unmerciful god?
Pain is a helpful. I know we don't want to get into this, but I think pain is a helpful. It's a useful tool. It's not. It's in fact. It would be very difficult to go through life not feeling any sort of pain. Right. I think because if you're hurt, you have no way of communicating that.
I think I remember a story about someone who had to like check themselves constantly for like wounds.
Oh yeah,
because they couldn't feel pain. But
so anyway.
You felt something as you were torn in half, while the others saw this thing kidnap your soul, or essence, as we're calling them, not to push our way in on the Soul series. But you come to it's like a dream. You're standing in the middle of this place. Like you don't remember getting here or standing up, but you are inside what is only really describable as a fractal, as you called it when I first dragged you in here. This seemingly endless expanse of just mirrors and reflections, though you can't see any of yourself, so it's more just like layer upon layer of glass. There is a lot of massive glass panes in the ever-increasing distance that are shattered and broken, and there's just voids of missing glass or mirror in the emptiness of this area you're in.
Mm-hmm.
And every now and again, you kind of catch something at the corner of your eye, as if something's like reflecting in one of these reflective surfaces that you can look at that isn't more glass or a very hazy reflection of yourself. And it's always just that thing in the corner of your eye. You keep trying to catch it, but it's never there when you look at it. And
can I?
Oh, you go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. Definitely.
I was gonna reach out and try and like touch one of the mirrors.
Yeah, you reach out, and even though like the one you're reaching for is like it seems super close, it's just nothing is within arm's reach, or even if you move, nothing seems to be within touching distance. Everything just seems somehow evading your fingertips whenever you move to touch anything. And upon turning around to try and catch one of these things again, you hear almost whispering to you, like Flotsam's felt telepathy before, someone speaking in their head, well, I think you have. Don't call me on it, but I'm pretty sure Flotsam's speaking.
Melody, kind of.
Yeah, melody definitely reeks of telepathy effects. But this is much more just like a very close, uncomfortable whisper with how distant everything else is in this area. And it's kind of this like wispy, very breathy sound. Like this voice is very breathy and feels like you should be feeling like a breath on your cheek or at your neck whenever they talk, but you only hear them as they mutter to you. They call you Flotsam, found at the bottom of the ocean. And it feels like they're almost circling you, getting like that 3D audio effect that I can't replicate. And it almost feels like they're like putting their arm around you, like addressing you, like kind of giving you that annoying feeling that you get like Graham's talking to you, almost. And they kind of whisper in your other auditory receptor, as you don't seem to have external ears. A relic of a forgotten time? Or just debris? And you feel like they kind of exit your vicinity, and you feel like something is standing in front of you. That same, like, sixth sense you all seem to have when something's like hunting you, that prey feeling. It feels like it is like right in front of you, though you can't see anything.
Can I speak to it?
Nothing's stopping you from talking.
Who are you?
You already know that, Flotsam. Your name kind of echoes out a little bit.
The King of Elk.
It feels like the presence gets a little closer, and like it feels like a foreboding figure should be in front of you, but nothing's there. How something like you has essence to offer is odd.
Can you say that one more time? Sorry, I cut off. I couldn't hear you.
I hope it's picking up for the rest of them. He said how something like you has essence to offer is odd. I'll turn off my noise suppression on Discord. There we go.
So they weren't responding to. They didn't necessarily respond.
They didn't deny it, but you feel a presence like that.
Something like me.
Inorganic.
Well, I am here all the same.
And nonetheless, I will harvest. Such fresh vibrancy. Once again, Flotsam, You'll be their distraction. My lure. Your friends will come like lambs to my slaughter, joining this pathetic little village in my nightly offering.
You underestimate them.
You feel it circle you a bit more, still kind of sussing you out as you are definitely confusing to this entity, but you're definitely piquing its interest. This might not be the first time you and your friends have died in this realm. My realm. But you'll all be living husks like the rest of them. Bring them to me. I request an audience. And you feel like the slightest, brush against your metal cheek, as the kind of threatening feeling of this presence seems to somewhat dissipate from around you, as you are left in this endless void of broken windows or mirrors or crystalline structures, ever expanding above, below, northeast, southwest, if there is those directions wherever you are right now.
I will, I guess, do I have my violin with me?
Yeah, you have. Strangely enough, it's one of the only things you have with you.
As this is all glass or some manner of glass around me, I want to sit down cross-legged, tune the violin, and work on trying to find a pitch that matches the resonancy of the glass that's surrounding.
Yeah, roll a violin check, just so they're even more confused as well.
A violin check?
Yeah, or like a performance,
I could roll performance, I can roll, I could probably actually roll, I'm just looking, I could roll, violin.
I'm not sure if you have it in your other
Yeah,
attributes?
let me see if I can roll charisma with it. I don't. It should add my proficiency.
Yeah, you would definitely be proficient in it.
So that would be 16. So that would be 4 plus 3.
Yeah, you seem to you play each string a matter of times just to try and get one long just hum, and eventually you do find this rather pleasant note that kind of echoes off of these structures very nicely, like the acoustics kind of hit that just perfect resonance, and it feels somewhat comforting.
I'll just think about them.
Fair enough. You'll pray that they come and help you.
Pray is a strong word.
Well, you'll consider them.
I hope they're all right.
Yeah, we'll jump back to them.
All right,
and see what they do.
I'll join in a second.
Yeah. Pull up.
Hey,
everybody.
How's it going? Hi. Violin check, eh?
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's fine.
Stealth check, eh? What are you giggling about over there?
No.
We're gonna have a talk, mister, when we get you back.
There's thine faces.
Oh, yo, boy. Javla.
Cheeky, can you drag me out of hell so I can see what's going on?
Yes. let's drag everyone's visual back to this place. So
hell or wherever I ended up.
yeah, or wherever that was.
You'll never know.
Yeah, I'll never tell.
Guys, when you die, are you supposed to go to some place with like a lot of fire and there's a guy there? He's really mean to you.
Yes.
Yeah, that one level of warlock was
You
taking
did
the bad
just sell
time.
your soul and
Well-
then die.
Kind of right up. I was okay right to the finish line.
Yeah.
Caught
The
you
day
the last
before.
turtle.
You are one day from holiness.
Reminds me of this
Oh,
sketch where this
man.
guy dies and goes to hell and comes back and they're like, most people when they die, they go to purgatory. Why did you go straight to hell?
One-way ticket. Well,
I will
let's
be quiet.
get back our regular music. Ba-ba-ba.
Oh.
So
think
as
it
not
needs
to
to
be
be-
a distraction, I'm going to turn my video off, if that's okay.
That is 100% okay. Come back at any
I want to
time.
see Fel's great faces that he makes to the things we do.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 23, you four. With
24.
24 with the 4, with nuggets coming in soon after dinner.
4.5.
And later.
4.5. For
Fel
2
could be doing
halves, technically.
anything right now. He could be sticking his tongue out at it. We wouldn't even know.
We get the Pepsi.
Hey!
Oh, someone's gonna have to pause that in stream. Alrighty. None of you watch stream, I hope, because I'll get you.
What's up?
None of you were watching stream, I hope, because I'll get you.
Nope.
I want to see what the chat's going to be saying. I better turn my phone.
It was so sudden. I don't think the chat was around. They're gonna have to freak out when we mention there's a whole dream sequence without him.
I have to go back and watch.
So, Adelaide, you're in the corn for some reason, even though this place grows a lot of wheat. Where you're in the cornfield right now.
I'm going to remove myself from the corn and just kind of like stumble out out of the field into the open area, basically just tripping over everything in a panic.
Silas is just going to immediately look to Ra and just nod like we're about to just take off after this.
What does
Ra-
Ra do?
Yeah, so no one but this crew and a few of my friends have seen some fan art that they made. But essentially, Ra is normally her hair looks like it's on fire. It's literally fire.
As everyone has made a point to tell
Yes.
you.
This is actually her hair is actually for real on fire at this point. Hey,
Cool.
Nugget,
Hey, hello!
Hey, Muggy.
in time.
Just in time
And-
for the fire.
Fire. Her eyes are aglow. Fire is coming out of them as well. Her horns have grown. In this short span, horns have they're little nubs usually. They have sort of grown out as the fire is sort of like going crazy on her head, and then she's also got 2 more little nubs on her brow that have like pierced through the skin. Her blood is like glowing. It looks almost like lava. She's got shit from fighting this thing that like attacked her all these times, and flames are starting. Like heat is rising off of her like a hot sidewalk on a summer day in like tropical cancer. Like it is extremely hot around her to the point that her blur spell is gone.
They can't concentrate
flames, real
anymore.
flames. Yeah, well, a different spell has replaced it. Flames have now surrounded her and have literally set the ground on fire where she stands. And she says quietly as it looks like her head's kind of down for a second, but Silas, from where you can see, and comment Viridian too, she's crying, and her tears look like flames, and they evaporate before they can get to the bottom of her face, and she says, "You can't have him." Oh, I should probably put my little thing on.
You can't have him. He's not yours!
And she runs, and she's very fast, but Silas could probably catch up. She's her speed right now is 55 feet, and she's dashing, so she's moving 110 feet per round, leaving literally a trail of fire in her wake. It just follows her. She will run so that she's not right next to either of you. You won't take any fire damage, but if you got close enough, she's hot enough where you'd have to make a dex save. Yeah, and she bursts. She just peels off. Can I grab that aura?
No.
It is mine.
Hell yeah. She's just out of here.
Silas
back to the town.
Burst of speeds as well, just to get up with her for a little bit, and then she begins to outpace him.
It's cool too, because you wouldn't know what this sound is, but out of game, it sounds like a jet engine turbines powering up, and then she rockets off. She's using the fire to actually propel her forward through the corn. She's not consciously trying to set the corn on fire. She's just so mad. Corn might catch on fire, but she's on the path generally, so she's just going straight back to the town.
Yeah. Roll a luck.
Oh.
Yeah, let's see.
Hello.
You're fine.
16.
You didn't. Not a lot of agricultural damage will be done, but
no popcorn.
Unless you want it
Thankfully,
to be done, I guess.
I'm sticking to the path because it's the more straightforward way to the town, and I know I can't catch up to this thing while it's in its corn's field. It's like a force field, but of corn. it's in the corn state, the corn zen, and so I can't catch up. So I'm gonna just beeline it back to town. If not to find this thing, then for answers on where to find this thing. That's my MO right now.
All right. As you are both running, you definitely can't really track it much more than knowing it is going back to town. How far in or where they're going with an essence, you're not sure. But the three of you back by the fire, you had to raise your hand to block the immense heat of a fire line being made.
Would it be possible for me to grab some horse grass, and kind of whistle?
Yeah, you got
for an instant whirlwind.
Bits of grass, get the whirlwind running.
There's also, don't forget, Comet, you did summon this ox.
I don't know what an ox's speed is, but
yeah, but it might need a ride. I'm just saying.
I do look back at Adelaide though, with questions in my eyes, and I was just like, we should catch up to them. I can't go that fast, but we should try to get it. We should try to get up to them.
We need to stop them, she says very loudly. She does a short whistle, and you can see Penny start to follow them.
Yeah, Penny.
God. How?
You saw that thing. We couldn't even hurt it. We couldn't stop it. Do you think we're in any condition to fight it again?
I don't want. We can't do anything to it if we don't know what it is. And I don't think we have the ability to fight it today again. But how are we gonna tell that to them? I think Raw is determined.
That's why we need to catch up. I guess Penny can fly really fast. I guess she can dash, which makes her move in 120 feet.
120 feet? Yeah, so they can definitely keep in line of eventually catching up, but like you are kind of already close-ish to the town, so once they get into town and stop needing to run in a straight line.
Also, I did leave a very convenient fire trail to follow.
Yeah.
It's more accidental convenience.
Yeah. We should try to see how far we could get. And I turned to the ox and I'm like, thank you for your help. Sorry for everything I did. Continue on. And I kind of like
no ivory of my horns. Later.
Bye. And I'll run as fast as I can, which isn't very after them.
A jaunty jog.
Yeah.
Alright. So, let me grab the gang over here. Say you three at least will be getting back at us somewhat of the same time-ish. So we'll drag you all in. Hellion, definitely straight away. Silas and Viridian lagging behind a little. But you get to the town, Hellion, and people seem docile enough. It doesn't seem like any of them are in a panic of just having seen a creature jumping around and, you know, carrying a essence in its hands. You feel like there'll be a bit more commotion if people have seen this thing near the town.
I am looking around. This spell, how long does it last, actually? This lasts only a minute, so it would probably have worn off by the time that I got back to the town. So I'm not setting the town on fire at this moment. But I'm bloody, I'm exhausted, and I'm looking around frantically. Can I, like, make a perception check to try and see if there's any signs whatsoever? Hunter's Bane would maybe help me here, perhaps, to track this thing?
Maybe. What?
Well, since Fey Fiends are undead, it's not either any of those, so actually.
Nah. Yeah, roll perception. See if you can spot anything just with the senses you have currently.
That's just almost the best I can do.
Almost all I got,
literally one away from the best that I can do.
You don't see much in terms of a place to go, thing to do, way to bring it all back and fix everything. But you do see no one's really paying too much attention to. They're looking out at like the fire that is being lined in the cornfield down below, wondering what that is. But you do see young Mason giving you guys kind of the side eye. They're kind of looking over at you, running in, not really out of curiosity, but eventually, as you're peeping around, as Silas and Viridian kind of whirl in behind you, he does kind of like hands behind his back, kind of very trying to be nonchalant as he sidesteps his way over to the group of you.
Get right up to him, and I'm like,
Where did it go?
He squints rather viciously, and he kind of thumbs his nose. Well, I can't tell you.
Why is that?
I can't tell you that either. Look.
This kid's gonna die.
Both of my swords are still out and on fire right now. Just so you know. And I'm just standing there, covered in battle scars, still very much angry, and I'm just staring daggers at this kid.
I'm not in a mood to play games with you right now. Where did it go?
Well, if I tell you that, you're never getting no one back.
That's a double negative. That technically means I won't get him back if you tell me, so you should tell me.
He kind of thumbs his nose again and kind of scratches the back of his head, looking over at Silas and Viridian as they wander up the street.
And I'm just doing like as we walk up to this kid, like comparing my face at him.
Like, what?
Silas is currently
He never meant anyone any harm. He didn't hurt anybody. He couldn't hurt this thing. He tried to talk to it. Do you serve this elk king? What is this tribute? I want answers.
He kind of like looks around as some people kind of look over, and he kind of does like the hush hush motion, like pushing down with his hands. It's like, look, lady, I think you got some mail back at your house. Postman's been.
I'll get it. Silas will
Tell me
run
this
over.
then.
Is there any
How much
mail?
time do we have to get it back? Could you give me that information?
Well, whoever gets grabbed usually shows up in the morning.
I look at the sun. I see it's still like early
Yeah,
morning.
very
We left
early.
early in the day. I calm down. I know that killing this kid in front of everybody would not look good, and also, he'll just come back and just be like, "What did I tell you?" So I'm not gonna.
But
Rod's
then no
pissed,
harm
but-
done. Like
No harm, no
Yeah,
foul.
right. But Rod knows now we have until tomorrow morning, or at the very, like that's a I guess a liberal estimate. A conservative guess would be we have until tonight to figure this out. So her horns shrink very slightly. The little nubs start to kind of retract.
Hmm.
The heat coming off her, which wasn't setting anything on fire at this point, starts to dissipate. And she dismisses her blades. Puts them away.
Might come back, but I ain't get you any step closer. I'm getting out of here.
Kid, I'm really pissed off and emotional right now, and you not telling me what I want to know isn't really helping.
Well, me telling you wouldn't help
If
nothing
you-
either.
Well, you know what? When our wizard gets back, tell her everything you know about this thing. I'm going inside.
And I just turn away from the kid. I can't look at anybody. I'm like way too mad.
He looks up at you, Viridian, and just gives you like the what gesture.
I kind of want to like go over to him and kind of like get off my horse, and I want to like pick him up by like his collar.
No strength required.
On the horse.
You easily pick him. Yeah, you reach down from the horse to pick him up.
Yeah, from the horse. That's even better. And I hoist him up like above me. And I say, if we don't get him back. And then kind of like stop for a second, like trying to think of a threat because he wasn't ready.
Okay. you've got the demon heads in those bags on the saddle.
Yeah.
Of,
There are demon heads on Whirlwind right
We'll
now.
Yeah,
bury
it's-
you.
Oh,
What? You
I
buried?
drop him on the ground.
Ooh.
The implications are like, oh, he'll come back to life, but it'll just be in the ground, and I don't explain it. I just let him figure it out and ride off.
Oh, it would have been really funny if he just looked at you and just, what are you talking about? Because you'd be underground. So you'd come back and you'd like,
Yeah.
I'm like here, and I draw out a diagram for him in the dirt.
As Silas, you're rummaging through your house for this supposed mail that you've received, Comet and Adelaide, you both finally arrive back at whatever speed you chose to move at.
Yeah, huffing and puffing way worse than Silas.
Penny, having seen most and heard most of this, if you had landed them nearby, which I assume you may have, because that's what you do with a
familiar. Would we have seen Viridian and Mason talking, or would we just
you probably come in at the trail end of Viridian, kind of dropping him on his arm.
Yeah.
Which is in here.
Yeah. Alright. Well, it looks like they stopped here.
Adelaide's just trying to take in all the visual information, what's going on. She's looking for Ra and Silas. This place doesn't seem to be on fire, so maybe Ra's calmed down.
Right. Oh. I don't know if I saw Mason.
He's picking
doing all
himself
that
up
stuff.
and dusting his pants off from being
Okay.
dropped.
See. Yeah, I'll go up to him and just kind of ask, did our friends run by here?
Yeah, they've gone into the house.
Oh, they're in the house. I turned to Adelaide. I'm like, yeah, they seem to have calmed down. What happened? Mason? I think I know his name.
Yeah. Well, she's all mad that one of yous got when we all said you'd get got. Now you're looking for your friend, but they're just going to show up in the morning. Well... I think they're reading a letter. Postman came.
Postman? Wait, where is the postman?
He shrugs.
Someone comes to drop something off and leaves?
Not exactly. Someone drops letters off.
Ooh, do you know who that is?
Wouldn't have a clue.
Then how do you know they came?
He shrugs again. I just know.
But I don't.
Someone get an insight check on this kid.
I'll do an insight check on this kid. I hate children.
Insight this
Extra
child
suspicious because he's
right
young.
Adelaide gets advantage on inciting children. Just how much
Against
she hates
children,
them.
yeah. Ooh.
You feel like he's definitely protecting the identity of this postman, but with that amount of insight, you feel like he might be the postman in question. He's trying to protect his own shorts.
What? Oh no.
Listen, kid. This is a very tense situation for everyone, I'm sure. If you happen to run into this postman again, I'm sure it would be in their best interest to give us some more information. I wonder if we can't all help each other out. Get our friend back, help everyone out around here. So, you tell them that they're going to give us information, won't you?
It kind of struts. Well, roll an intimidation on him and see how confident he is about this.
Crit.
I'm not very good at intimidation. Charisma was one of my dump stats.
That's perfectly fine. Let me roll a resolve for this little dude. Oh yeah.
Wisdom saving throw.
He's got a plus 20 resolve.
He's a brave boy, okay? He's got a childlike wonder.
If you give a 6-year-old immortality, you're gonna get the cockiest thing in the universe.
He wanders up to you and kind of like side-eyes Comet as he kind of does the come here motion as he's like short.
He's doing that to Adelaide or
Adelaide.
me? Okay, yeah, I was gonna say like.
Yeah, I follow. I give Comet a quick stay back type of look.
I was just calling you to lean down. He's not telling you to come anywhere.
Yeah.
He kind of looks around as if more people are watching him. He's very, very side-eye at everyone. Look, lady. When you tell someone something, you don't know who's listening. Sometimes when you tell someone something, other people get information. So you got to figure out ways to tell people information without telling them information.
Savvy. It's like Jack Sparrow as a child.
Well, that does make things more complicated, I assume.
Exactly.
Well, you know, when you're trying to convey information and you don't know who's listening, I mean, that seems like a pretty dangerous thing to be, a dangerous situation to be in for anyone.
You're telling me? It seems the only one I could trust is gone amongst you lot. I ain't telling no one nothing.
Does he only trust Flotsam because Flotsam didn't talk to him?
Bully this child.
Because he didn't have a mouth. It's like, yeah, I trust that guy. I'm not gonna say anything.
The guy walks back, it's like, Mama, check your friends with that letter. I'm gonna see if I can get out of here without things distracted with your buddy.
We'll go and find out.
Yeah, good luck.
Thanks, kid.
That's alright. Wizard?
Comment.
Comment.
Oh,
Donkey.
Yes, if we see our friends, I'll start walking over to the house.
He did mention that they were in the house, so...
Zoop.
all of you wandering into the house.
How hidden is this letter?
Right.
Roll me an investigation, you two, as you've been in here.
Woo! I'll let Silas go first. Silas hadn't found it by the time.
Yeah.
12.
You'll be finding it or not finding it as everyone's wandering in, so...
This is also my house, so if that gets any bonuses.
I have a letter finding bonus of my house.
A letter finding bonus? Camera in a nice spot. A 12. You definitely don't think you're on any track to find something. Hellion.
I'm not. I barely look. I see that Silas is still looking, and I just kind of... I brush past. I messaged Tabby here, like, how I look as I go past. But I go straight to the, I guess, bathroom, the chamber pot room, or latrine room, whatever that is.
Ooh.
He's like looking both ways, like, look, friend. Look, friend.
Is there a lock on the door for this thing?
Yeah, it's a bathroom.
You hear the latch. You hear that I lock it, so...
She might just have to go to the bathroom.
Patter of tabaxi feet, like, actually, right.
In a D&D game?
Like, do that. He's like anxious. He's like,
You didn't know that you had to go until the option was taken away from you. Then you're like, oh wait, damn it.
So check over here by the
three of
stove.
you wander in as Silas is jimmying the stove right now to look for something. It seems. Roll me another investigation now that the others have arrived.
Yeah. Worse.
We distracted you. Oh.
No, that's the anxiety of like friend hurting, want help.
Friend hurt.
We walk in.
Yeah, you'll wander in.
Hey Silas, look what I found.
You did hear something about the postman being, so if you all want to see that they're maybe looking for a letter and join in.
Investigation? I suck at it, but here we go. 13.
Adelaide needs to save the day here.
Someone, please.
Mm-hmm.
The wizard
Please.
investigation.
Smart person. We have so many wise people. We need a smart person, though.
We're really not all that wise.
Could I summon Penny? Well, can I send Penny, who's like waiting outside, to the pet dimension, and then summon her back inside
you can
to just like
shrimp her in.
be another pair of eyes?
Ooh.
Right.
No, emotional. Fight back tears here.
Yeah, so Adelaide, you'll get advantage.
Because someone needs
Penny.
to find this.
with Penny, like, getting the low ground.
Right.
Yeah. There we go.
Alright, yeah.
Damn.
There we go.
So, with Penny's help,
Thank God we have someone smart.
you can see them, like, pecking at something, like, slightly tucked under the rug. Like, the first place someone should have looked, but no one did. And they pick out, like, a little folded note.
I'll take it from her and open it up.
You crack open the letter and pull out the little bit of paper, and it looks like a page ripped out of a book. And it's like page, like, 275, and it's just a poem, it seems. A poem written by an author. Poem Pominski, the goblinoid poet.
Pominski.
Yeah, everyone knows Pominski, man. And it seems to be a poem about, like, it references a well a lot. Like, it's entitled "The Well." Goes on about, like, some poetic stuff about wells. Just Google Google a stock standard well poem and paste it here.
And it's that one.
Yeah, it's just it seems to just be a page from a book of poems.
What's the rhyme structure here? What kind of iambic pentameter is he using?
It's might be a haiku because that's the only one I know. It's like, wells are really cool. Oh boy, I really like wells.
Well, that's some kind of freeform haiku there.
Yeah. Well. It's the last line.
This kid is a master poet, and
this is Pominski, dude.
This is Pominski. Yeah.
Well, that could be his, like...
Yeah.
It looks printed. It looks like a page from a book from, like, a printing press.
Mm. Do we all see this?
You see Adelaide reading a note, I suppose, with old buddy kind of sidling up from the pouch. Like, well,
Does
what it
Adelaide
say,
have a
Adelaide?
message?
I think
It would be really helpful, but I don't.
The cantrip.
Ah,
The only person I've ever needed to talk to, I can already communicate
Yeah,
telepathically
true.
with.
It's a free asset.
Mhm. Did you find it?
I found something in the carpet. You're welcome to take a look.
So I'll just
bad poetry.
Yeah,
rush
just
over and like kind of like grab it and read it quickly and look back up at her. This is garbage.
Just be mindful. It had occurred to me that there may be. We will never know who's watching, and she'll do like a wink, or listening.
He'll look very confused and like. Does anyone know what this means?
Is someone here?
God, I forgot who I'm talking to.
Does that help us?
Well, this might give us some insight.
Hmm.
Oh,
Where-
Phil sent me like an actual good poem of a well. In a state of grace, the soul is like a well of limpid water, from which flow only streams of clearest crystal. Its works are pleasing both to God and man, rising from the river of life, beside which is rooted like a tree.
I don't know if a well can run. I don't think wells have streams or rivers, but cool.
The water in them runs. They're usually above like underground rivers.
that is true. Yeah.
And it runs up and down. I
Mhm.
don't know.
Does it help us get Flotsam?
I don't know if it's enough to get to the heart of the issue. And Adelaide is like trying to look around for something to write on. She's trying to be careful about her word choice, but I forget that.
Yeah.
I also just kind of like make like a aha moment, and we'll run over to the bathroom, like with the letter still in his hand, and be like, "Rob, sorry for going to the bathroom," and slide it underneath the door. We need a second smart person.
Right, you see a letter being pushed under the door.
You see the half of it still sticking out. Then you see a soft red glow, and then it goes underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Ra will read it, but then Ra will send it back through and say, like, you're gonna need to look. Oh, I should probably.
You're gonna need to look elsewhere for someone who's smart.
Oh no.
That's an issue.
Whoops. Way.
Well,
I mean,
And then the glow from beneath kind of goes away.
Huh. Hope you're
maybe
okay.
it's just telling us where to look.
Oh, that's smart. This is for me. No, he has no idea.
That was a tabby roll.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only one here, right?
On what?
I'd point to the paper.
Yeah,
I point to the word. Well,
I'm gonna
one
I'm
of the
gonna
five.
open the door and leave the bath. You can tell I look like I've been crying.
Hmm.
and I'll say, could I actually hold on before I do anything? Does Silas look confused by the letter still? Like
Very, extremely.
Okay. Because I'm pretty sure, like, the Hellion understands, but she's having a bit of a moment. So, can I use Produce Flame, since I can hold it in my hand?
Mm-hmm.
Can I, like, shape the flame to write what I want to communicate to them? And can I do it... Does anyone here speak Primordial?
I do.
That's right. I would know what Common does. I will, in Primordial, write out, with the Produce Flame cantrip. I don't know if Silas or anyone else is aware, but clearly we need to go down the well. And I say that in Primordial, and I try to use a lot of Iganin slang, just in case if there is something that's like scrying in here and like watching us. If maybe it speaks Primordial, but it might have a hard time understanding this, and also it's fire, and Common is the only person I can share a really uncommon language with, and I'm hoping that this will be enough.
Comet, roll a understanding check. What's an insight, I suppose? I'd say.
Yeah, you're trying to get my
insight.
meaning here.
Insight?
Yeah.
Should I roll something or?
Insight.
We'll see how
26.
good they roll. They're good enough. You didn't need to assist. You feel like you get the gist.
And then I'll dismiss the flame.
Right, that's what I thought too.
I think we should rest. I think we should just stay here till we're ready to move forward.
Are you okay with that?
It doesn't matter what I want at this point, but we can't get him back as we are. I have failed my best friend, and if we had just waited, we might have stood a chance to, if not beat that thing, at least escape. But I rushed into things, as I always do, and I'm usually able to get away, and this time I didn't. And I kind of suck, and I think I need to sit on that for a bit, so I think we should just rest. Anyway, sorry if you needed to use the bathroom.
And then I'm gonna head over to this room. And I'll this bed was kind of moved out of the way. I'll just sort of like lay down on the bed.
Clean the
move stuff
dresser
around
off of it.
Yeah, and then put the pillow on my face and just lay on my back.
So, everyone, you definitely have the option to take a long rest now if you wish to, and watch the sun kind of dip down past the horizon and the moon peek over the other horizon, the other side of the horizon.
Wait, is the day only 8 hours long?
Well, no, but like it's like midday.
We didn't leave like
it takes 8 hours.
I thought
I
thought it was morning. Like we left early, right?
Yeah.
I thought so. It'd be like 4 p.m. if 8 hours passed.
It's winter. It's like a early.
Oh, is it winter?
No, I don't know. It's
Right.
sunset when you wake up.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
that's
pretty.
Okay.
Can I do stuff? Can I do something
Yeah,
before we
you can
do
absolutely
that?
do stuff as you're simmering down.
Awesome. I'm gonna cast sending.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to talk with Melody.
All right. Let's have a look
yeah.
at sending. See what we can do with that.
I can talk to anybody in any plane
Mm-hmm.
as long as I know them. If they're in a different plane, it has a 5% chance of failing.
They're gone, Naomi.
Yeah.
25 words or less. What are you going to send over to Melody?
Hello, Melody. It's been a bit. I wanted to check in and make sure you're okay. We are helping a friend. And I want to know how you're doing. And that's as much as I'll say.
Oh, you have 3 more.
I love you.
2 more.
Whenever you have 3.
Love you.
Counting sending makes the spell so much better.
Yeah, you hear back, like, rather excitedly, just first word, in all capitals, it would just be your name, just, Comet! It's awesome to hear from you. Is Flotsam okay? What happened? I don't know how this spell works. I don't know how long. Eventually it cuts off.
Oh no. All right. I have enough to cast it again. Dang, because I can't respond to their response.
Yeah, you can't respond to their response.
We're trying to help Flotsam. They're in trouble. How did you know? Oh, hang on.
Stop.
Yeah. It's like, no, I didn't count that.
I like to imagine whenever you cast sending, some ethereal ghost appears in front of you, counting you in front of you.
It's like hands
You
just
could always. You could write down the message first, make sure that it's like
Right.
good, and then cast sending.
This is more fun.
Yeah, how am I supposed to find what I'm
sending.
gonna say? Anyway, yeah, how did you know it was Flotsam? We'll meet again soon.
You have 10 more.
I have 10 more words and don't know what to put, so...
When the moon hits the sky. That's boring.
You hear back, was I not meant to know?
I can't
I just
send
know.
anymore.
Is sending a ritual?
I'm sorry,
No,
but yes, I'm okay,
no, it's
Comet.
not.
Just excited for you to come back, and like, he rambles on until it stops.
Okay. Dang. Well, that's interesting.
Melody has a bond with us and knows when we leave this mortal coil. That's pretty cool. And also
He's cut off for a bit. And, I don't know where you went to go rest.
Yeah, I don't know either. Rod took my room.
You could like go into one of the other rooms and
the
just
door.
peel
You can
the.
come in. I just
peel
don't
the
want to be
door.
on the hammock over the bed in which that Flotsam was in. Like, just don't want to be in that room specifically.
We'll get all the pure.
I'll just turn to Adelaide and just, you can share my room.
No, I'll be out here.
No. I don't think I will. So you sit down, and eventually Adelaide, Lex kind of pulls himself with whatever physical force he can exert on himself to move around. And somehow you get like the side eye from a book that, like, as if they really want to ask you something, but like they never know when the best time is. It's an expression you've seen on them like every day or any time they want to ask you anything.
Like it's that one specific look from the animated room on his on the front cover.
Eventually, he pipes up. Hey, Adelaide.
Yes, Lex. This is a difficult time. Are you okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure when else I'd have time to really talk to you, so... I mean, if now's a bad time, I can wait, but...
No, it's as good as it's going to get, I think.
Right, that is sad. What happened to me with the whole head and not a book? Why do I have what is that about?
I don't know if I necessarily have a complete answer for you, Lex. I mean, it was a technique in the Order to manifest the consciousness of your spellbook externally, but usually the manifested mind would appear, you know, as an arcane rune, or something abstract. I've never seen something like that manifested in the form of a face.
Like, is that just like what you think I would look like if I was a person, or...?
My guess is as good as yours in this situation.
I don't like my guesses. You're not, like, keeping anything from me, are you?
No. Lex, why would I have to keep secrets from you?
I'm not. I appeared as a head. I'm freaking out. I just want to make sure I'm. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. No, we don't do weird. We like knowing things. We don't know anything, and it sucks.
It does suck. Ugh. I'd tell you if I knew. But maybe we could find it out? I don't know. I mean, there's not much to go back to. Not many people to ask. It might just be something we have to deal with.
God damn. I hate dealing with things. Just be careful from... Well, I mean, we're always being careful, but I don't like this place. I don't like any of it.
No, I don't either. I could do without.
Like, can we just leave? Like, I'm willing to be like an outlaw for that other country. Like, at this point, I don't care. We can like go sit on a small island and cast magic into the water or something. I don't know. Anything but here, honestly.
Lex wants to be a pirate?
She makes direct eye contact with like a twinge of fear at the idea of pirate book Lex.
Yeah, you'll give us all your money? Okay.
As tempting as that would be, there are no libraries on abandoned islands.
Hey, there could be.
We'd have to find one first.
We should look for one.
I don't think this is an ideal time to leave if there ever will be.
Yeah, but well, don't just deny the whole if after this we should look for an abandoned library on an island, that would be awesome.
Look, if we happen to find, in a different library, a long abandoned map to a secret hidden island with the greatest library in the entire world, then maybe we'll have a plan.
Adelaide, I just got chills up my spine. I'm in.
Who else is in the room? I'm wondering.
Right.
I don't know.
We're talking
The whole
quiet
time
enough.
Adelaide's been having this quiet conversation, she's just been like smiling gently.
Yeah.
It's all in your head.
As Comet is like leaving the room, Silas just kind of grabbed the end of his tail a little bit.
Oh,
no.
Just like not hard, but just like enough to get your attention.
I'll turn around.
And just kind of like sidle up to you and kind of like whisper towards you, just like, I know this might be greedy of me, but I would
What
like
is it?
someone comforting to be with me. So would you mind if we stay together for the next few hours?
Sure, Silas. I can do that. I'll help you out. Where are you staying? I can stay with you.
Yeah, well, I have a room.
Right.
Been in here before.
Now walk in with Silas.
Sit at the end of his bed.
I'll squeeze into the wall.
Everyone hears her in the house, just like.
Meanwhile, Viridian's just like starfish out on like the huge double head, like huge grin on his face.
And as soon as
Finally.
Kyle sits down, he kind of like his chin kind of like gets hit by the bottom of his armor and realizes, we'll stand up and like start trying to start taking stuff off.
Mm. Oh, I can help you.
Yeah, that would be really great.
Help Silas doff his armor.
Doff the armor, the 5-minute ritual.
Is this what it was like when I died?
The feelings that were being thrown around today, they're not unfamiliar. We were in a panic when you were gone. We weren't sure. We weren't even sure you could come back. We thought that was it. When we were informed that we could bring you back, that was our only goal. Anything that stood in our way was something that we just wanted to forget about until we were able to bring you back. But now, it looks like this one's a little bit more complicated.
Yeah.
Raw is... I understand what she's going through. I got destroyed, Silas, when you were gone. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I would ever see you again. And I think Raw feels like it's her fault.
Yeah. This fucking sucks.
It's not fun. But there's 4 of us. No. This many. Trying to get him back. So I don't know how long it's gonna take, but that's what we're gonna do.
We'll get him back.
How are you feeling, Silas? We've been here for a bit. I don't know what this means.
It's all felt like some type of twisted nightmare ever since I saw my sister. And I keep waking up, and it's still going. So I'm so unbelievably terrified and worried this entire time. And now one of the people I enjoy spending so much time with, like behind you, basically my second best friend, died like a few feet from me. And I couldn't get him back with strength. And if I can't use my strength to get my friends back and protect my family, I'm not smart enough to outthink things, so... But we have each other, and we can... I am certain we can get him back. I don't have a doubt, but it's just so scary. And it's a mess. It's just I want to keep things safe and figure out what's wrong and why my entire hometown is turning into monsters and what happened to me during 10 years where I was something, and I think that thing is now my sister.
Didn't you say that when you were gone, someone told you to get rid of this monster?
Yeah, well, I met someone when I died. She was a very beautiful woman who I'm curious to see if Flotsam is talking to right now. And she's the one who gave me this armor and sent me this way. And she said that there was something evil out here.
Hmm.
Do you know the goddess Saloon?
I might have heard her name before, but I don't know much about her.
I hope he's having a nice conversation like I did. She was gentle. It made me feel at least not terrified to be dead. And when she gave me her blessing, she said that there was something, a pit of evil almost, siphoning life from the land, and she sent me to come hunt it. And it's either this place that we're in now, or the church to the south.
So do you think it could be this king? And if not,
Oh.
then I wonder what's in the chapel that could be worse than him. Is she, Saloon, the one who gives you the ability to go into that other state that you go into?
I'm not sure. I think so. It might be a convoluted transfer, because before Saloon I had a medallion to someone she called Evil. I think that's that same person that my sister's now under. And I think I'm now kind of still in the aftershock of being in that state, and every time I get into too much of a battle for me to handle, the person I was tries to take over and handle it until it's good for me to come back. Allows me to be brave.
Well, all I know is whenever people get involved or wanting to see anything to do with gods, it never turns out great.
I'm just hoping I found the right one.
Did you know that Melody can feel us?
They can what?
I think they can. I think they know if we are in trouble. I talked to them, and they knew about Flotsam before I said anything.
Huh. They must be some type of... Maybe it's because Flotsam and them are kind of alike?
I mean, they did become friends really quickly. And, I think that's only a good thing. We've been able to make a lot more friends. And if we want to help Flotsam so much, I'm sure they would too.
I was legitimately freaked out by that kid. And, the more we learn, the more I'm terrified of them, but I can't get rid of the feeling of, like, well, my not-so-little sister wanting to learn from me. So maybe it's just the older brother instinct starting to kick in.
We're gonna figure out how to help you with what you're dealing with. And then you can help her. Because Flotsam's not the only one we need to help.
God, no. We're a bunch of fucking messes. Adelaide talks to her book as like a friend.
You heard that too?
Yeah.
Been happening for a while.
Oh, have you met my friend?
Like, can we unpack that real quick? I know we're like... You ever think about that?
I mean, I don't know if it's that weird.
And I think Viridian talks to his horse like it understands. You can actually talk to animals.
Yeah, I
just
understand
talk
his
to
horse.
the
I don't think that's weird at all. Maybe he does too.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah, shit.
Comet, you are one unique and special man who I have limitless respect for. And wherever Flotsam is right now, I know we can get him if we work together. Because I can't say much for Viridian, really. He's really good at grabbing things, but I know our holy magic can burn the shit out of it, so...
Good at grabbing. Gotta be known for something.
Everyone's good at something, you know? Yeah, find what it is.
One thing. Well,
let's take a nap.
Yeah, we need to get rest, and Flotsam's #1 tomorrow.
In the middle of you saying that comment, you hear, like, you feel like the hair stand up on your neck as you hear just like, very suddenly, just, Harvey said you might have been using a spell called Sending. So I hope you're okay, Comet. Stay safe. I'll see you soon.
You okay? You just look like the prank bug bit you.
Melody! I guess you can hear me say that, right? Yeah. I'm talking out loud.
Yeah, if you talk out loud.
Yeah.
You can mentally say it, but if you say it counts.
It's great to hear from you. Harvey is a good teacher. You are amazing. We're okay for now. Keep doing what you're doing. Be safe. And get some sleep.
Nice.
Yeah?
Oh, that was Melody. They
Is
learned
it like
how to
some type of magic, whatever.
Yeah, they learned how to cast the same spell I cast when I talked to them. Like today.
What did we find in that lab?
Someone amazing.
I think we should go talk to them after we're done here. It might be to our benefit to bring them along.
So,
if they want,
you all take a long rest.
I would like, if it's okay with everyone else, to do an extra hour on top of that, because I want to do a couple spells and use Arcane Recovery to replenish what I got. If that's all right. People are all right with doing 9 hours instead of 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That means I can get Mage Armor and get Alacrity.
Oh, and you want to take a short rest afterwards?
Essentially, like, the long rest would last an extra hours. At the end of the 8 hours, I cast 2 spells, and then I get them back.
Yeah.
So I'd be out of Arcane Recovery, but I'd be ready to go.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea, TVH.
Yeah, I haven't seen you be using it a lot, Adelaide, but I guess you don't really go through all your spells. You have a lot left any time something's done, honestly. So, after alacriting and mage armoring, I assume you will convene around the middle room. Unless you do anything else during the rest, or...
The hour.
Yeah.
I assume that, like, after the initial 8 hours, that 1 hour, like, short rest planning period we'll be talking about.
Silas, we can make breakfast.
It's dinner.
Well, I just woke up.
Brenner it is then. Nothing better than farm fresh eggs, so I'm gonna look at this outside real quick to see like how close it is to sunset.
Just getting there.
By the way, your hit points that you gave me in that battle, Comet, how long do they last? They last until a long rest, or do they just...
I I don't know, actually. I don't
think
it
all
says anything
temporary
about
health
long
goes
rest.
away at long rests.
Yeah, I think unless it specifies.
Yeah, unless it specifies. I think long rests, well, temporary health space rule is that it goes away.
I already miss our inspiring leader, Flotsam, for his
I was going to say, like,
performances.
no 9 temp at the beginning of every day. Woo.
I think it's 11 now. I think it's more.
Yeah, it's a lot. So, if you want to roll a cooking food check, you can all eat.
I'll help.
Alright.
I don't know what.
going to garbage, BRB.
Alright, I guess I'll roll.
Good. No, I got it.
Okay, cool.
I'm alive. Cook! Make a food.
You make a completely satisfactory food.
Yeah, I make okay bacon and eggs.
Big breakfast?
Oh no. The nightly breakfast.
A big breakfast would be if I crit.
Yeah. This is a medium breakfast.
Average breakfast.
This is a lazy man's big breakfast. Alright, so you've all eaten. What do you all do
Alright,
now that you're up and ready?
Does anyone have any idea where we should start looking?
Yes. Let's not say it out loud. We will just go there. I think we might need I think it'd be great if we could, I don't know, breathe underwater or something. Like, that'd be pretty sweet. Because, I don't know, it's always just a useful thing to have. Comet, could you ritual cast something like that?
That would be useful. Oh, I can! I mean...
Just to have it, I mean, who knows what'll happen? Every day is a new day!
I can, it says it's an action, so I guess that's like 6 seconds.
It takes 10 minutes for a ritual.
That's right, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so you just, you could do that during the short rest if you wanted to.
I'll just start taking very slow, deep breaths and teaching everyone how to do that for 10 minutes.
I also think that maybe, wherever we end up going today, a rope and a grappling hook could always be helpful. Does anyone have a grappling hook on them?
I actually think I do that. Actually, I said that out loud, and I'm like, wait a minute. I think I have that.
You know you boys got a grappling hook.
Yeah, I think you both got grappling hooks.
Yeah, I have a silk rope and I have the good rope.
Yeah.
For the delicate hands, you know? You can't handle the hemp and rope burn.
Question. Silas raises his hand. What is a grappling hook?
I show you a grappling hook.
It's a grappling hook.
I demonstrate its use.
Garden
I
crawl
swing
with
it,
a rope
hit
at
a
the end.
bookcase, and then yank the bookcase.
Oh no!
Let me longomize the bookcase.
Typically it's better if you hook it on something sturdy, because then you can use the rope to climb, and, you know,
Right.
this thing will hook on.
This session, Silas is the comet of the group.
So, I think these things could be helpful. Also, maybe we don't want anyone seeing us go. Like, I think it might be better if people just don't know that we are going anywhere. Right? So, is there anything we can do about that?
There's the window. We move through there. I have no idea where we're going.
Anybody have any abilities or things? Because I don't know what all of you can do. Because I don't flew yesterday. first today. I didn't know you could do that, Adelaide, so I'm just wondering, do we have any things we can do that might help us?
To disguise us, to make a distraction? I'm not totally sure what you're asking.
If we have maybe a destination in mind to just go investigate, it would be good if, like, people didn't know we were going there and didn't, otherwise hear or see us go there.
Out of game, spells that help stealth would be good. Everyone's got something like that.
I mean, all I think I've got for that is invisibility.
Yeah, I don't think anyone has
Comet
passed
might have
without
passed
trace.
out trace as a druid, but you'd have to be. I think pass out trace is a second level spell. You'd have to be a third level druid to have that spell.
I mean, I've cast it before, so like, yeah, I have it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That would give everybody an amazing stealth bonus, at least on sound-based stealth checks.
Do we not want to be seen, or because that can make us quiet, but
If
I can also not be seen as long as I hold my breath, and I can.
today's the day of Today's the day of the Harvest Festival. Sun's going down. Celebration's going to be winding down, right? Once people start to go into their houses and things seem empty, if we move quickly, we might be able to get to where we need to get to without anyone noticing.
If we're going
We
where
have
I
to be
think
very
we're
fast.
going, if we're going where I think we're going, that's right in the middle of everything.
There are some things around there that could provide some cover, perhaps. So, if we get there quick, in fact, I
didn't actually. I opted not to prepare because I thought we might have something we could do. I guess we're still sort of figuring out what we're going to do since we're planning this out. I could prepare Featherfall in place of one of the spells I didn't already cast, maybe, if Cheeky's okay with that, and we could use Featherfall to, like, just dive in. If it's not full, I don't know how full that well is. But the thing is, if we have a grappling hook with a rope already connected, that means if we have to get out, we can climb up the rope.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, Silas and Flotsam sat on the edge of the well, so did it have water in it?
Yeah, so getting water.
Okay.
People get water from it all the time. Full water.
Also,
high
Silas
up
still
is
has
the
no
water
idea that
level?
we're talking about.
It's definitely, like, you can't, it's, like, you gotta use the bucket swivel thing for it, Can't reach down to slap the water.
So it would still be fall. Featherfall could.
If you're worried about hitting rocks at the bottom, I suppose.
Yeah.
If you don't trust the water to break your fall.
Right. I'll go ahead and cast Pass Without a Trace.
Alright, you
Yeah.
do that and somehow feel sneaky.
This is
That's
how you.
hour, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Also,
This is how you step on grass to make sure it doesn't make as much noise. My armor makes a lot of noise no matter how I step, but
Of disadvantage, but a plus 10 goes a long way.
an hour. Yeah, it's an hour.
No. All right.
Look, we
I gotta prepare the spell like now, so do we want to do the sneak up, all jump in one after another, like real quick, and then use Featherfall to glide down, or do we want to just take our time? Might be a little bit risky, but we set up a grappling hook and climb down one at a time. And I can prepare a different spell.
Let's do the former.
Featherfall?
All right. In that case, I will not prepare Expeditious Retreat, and I will prepare Featherfall instead.
I'm also a really good climber.
You could probably
That's
just
true.
climb down the side of the well.
There is also just the rope for the bucket, so one of us...
Woo!
Scratch that. Silas still has no idea what we're talking about. Can't be smart in this situation.
Well, we should go. Now.
Let's move quickly and quietly and get to our location. So it's just following you know exactly what we're talking about. What's there?
Viridian, you peek outside and see how many people are around.
I very stealthily
yeah, let's see who outside will
slowly
be here.
rise up.
Eli won't be around. We'll say these three are still hanging around. He'll be off wherever his pony went. Yeah, you look outside, you see just the people who were cooking seem to be around, and the hunters still seem to be chilling at their corner.
Just turn back around, and there's still the two hunters and the folks by the campfire.
Right, it might be hard to
Alright.
go past the campfire without anybody realizing.
If we went out the side of the house, around the back of the other house that's over here, and then snuck up, essentially this way, it's dark enough that I think the light of that campfire would not be enough to illuminate us if we were, we stuck low and we got there without making too much noise.
Right. I don't know what we're gonna find there.
I had to say that in character, that's my bad.
Last time we went somewhere down that was deep, there was some trouble. But you lead the way and we'll follow you. I say that's raw.
Alright. Stick together.
And then I'll...
Yeah, so I
Go
have no idea
outside.
why there's apparently a heist going on now, and you have water breathing on, or water walking. What did you turn on?
I have water breathing on.
They put water breathing on, even though Silas, there's no water within miles from here to swim in. Like, why are you breathing under? Like, it's a very odd, suspicious circumstance going on here, but. Alien walks out and starts climbing out a window, so... And I assume some follow. It's like a link in the distance, but...
Kind of.
So it would be, I guess I come out in...
Yeah, so you climb out and start sidling on out to the other house. We'll have you make the group's collective stealth checks now and see how that pans out for this whole endeavor.
Okay.
Everyone give me their stealths with disadvantage or advantage.
Disadvantage together. Hold hands into the grave.
I'm gonna just...
I thought y'all were just gonna walk out there and go into the damn well. What are you doing?
It's add 10 to all these rolls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, add 10 to everything.
Hey, raw twins!
Wow.
Woo! Oh my god!
See, I passed that trace. Nice. Because the lowest roll, 16.
I think Viridian is just confused. He doesn't get why we're sneaking past the town.
Yeah, you're just walking.
Like, me and you both, brother.
So, 16 plus 9 is my lowest.
Damn.
You have plus 9 to stealth?
Really?
No, and I have a -1. But plus 10 equals plus 9.
Oh no. But you can also hold your breath, so like I think your negation I think your 18 would be a 16 if you just do that. But you really won't need to, honestly. It's a very high.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So trying to sneak around the house essentially. Getting over there.
Just have Raw be the party marker.
Alright.
And then
yeah. No one seems to pay you any mind Viridian, you do get like a look from someone, but they don't really give a shit what you're doing, because like, why would they? It's the half-orc dude walking around.
Still,
I just kind of whistle like very industriously. I'm about to go visit my horse.
And then sticking low to the ground, I want to get here.
The entire time, Viridian's just like, Whirlwind! Whirlwind, where are you?
What? I'm like calling to him, but he's like not listening to me.
He's got a homie now, he's not listening.
He doesn't need me anymore.
I've been replaced.
He's got a friend now.
Alright. No one will stop you from all entering this well. Hellion, you do look down, you can see that it is a fair drop before you see the water. What's the range of your dark vision?
60 feet.
Well, yeah, it basically hits that limit. See the water at the
that would
very
be a lot
edge.
of damage. So
we're going
the idea would be we all get over here. And then once everyone's here, then like 2 at a time, like one right after the other, and I would feather fall us all down so that we don't take damage.
Well, I think everyone's already there.
Yeah, everyone's at where Hellion.
Everyone's there.
The
You were just the party marker, so we didn't have to move all the token.
Look, that's all of us there.
Yeah.
We're just really close to each other.
Yeah. So, yeah, you will all have to be close to each other because this map is big for a reason.
I could also just climb down and see what's there. Because it might just be a well.
Who jumps and who climbs?
I don't think anybody else can climb except Silas.
Yeah, I'm the only one who can safely climb
There is like
things.
the bucket and like rope in the middle, so if someone wanted to grab that and like ride that down.
Oh, I totally want to.
Like lower the bucket down.
No, Viridian.
Okay, if no one wanted me, if nobody wanted me to use Featherfall, I wouldn't have prepared Featherfall. I would have prepared something else. So thanks, everybody.
Well, I can't do him anything else but jump. So
Yeah.
All right, so I'll Featherfall Adelaide, myself, and Comet, and you two can take your own weight out if you like.
Alright, like plummets.
Hope I fit.
Yeah, you fit. You easily fit.
Okay, good.
Roll me an acrobatics for your cool bucket maneuver, Viridian. Let's see.
Oh, get ready for this. Oh, hey!
Ooh, hey!
Yeah, you ride it down and manage to like set it on the water. You don't get like a drop on your boot. So
Not even wet.
I will drag you all down
Into the depth.
Yeah, and as you are all falling or climbing, those of you climbing, Silas, you see that the wellness to this well ends rather quickly. After like 10 or so feet, you're kind of met with just like the roof of a cavern, as this seems to lead into some open area. And I guess Viridian being the first one down there, as everyone's slowly descending with the rest, you step off onto what seems to be a chiseled platform just off the side of the water at the bottom of this, and you see what you've known to see from most battles you've fought. There is an essence just floating in an archway of a door down here. Let me reveal it and shift ping you all over here. Oh, thank you. This is why you gotta get Mikey in your games. He's the DJ, he's got your back. I don't have time to set this up. This dude's got me.
Yeah, do we recognize this essence as Flotsams?
It's hard to recognize an essence, honestly. It's
like,
Right.
do we get a Flotsam vibe from it? Like,
Can I hear
roll
light violin
inside,
music?
I suppose, if you want to.
Yeah.
this is Chris.
It's Chris.
It's Chris.
No.
No, I don't know. It's an essence.
Thanks.
Isn't it?
Viridian, you got a pretty good look at Flotsam's essence when he was torn in half. You definitely...
I was at the elevation to see it, yeah.
Yeah, you had the high ground, so you had better seeings. So yeah, you feel it is.
It is.
If it isn't, who else would it be, right? Like, who else has an essence chilling down here?
This feels too easy.
Let's just grab it and
This
go.
door. Can I look around? Like, what do we see
This
in
is
here?
an archway that seems to it's wide open, seems to lead across into another caverned area that seems to lead off south. The south of this room is also seems to lead somewhere, but it has like a kind of small grate that you'd have to bust through to go that way.
Now, Cheeki. I'm gonna look around.
It is incredibly dark down here.
I have 300 feet of dark vision.
Alright.
So...
Roll me a perception. What are you looking around for specifically as well?
I guess I'm looking more around for like to see if I see any glints of eyes in the distances.
This black is wall. Like this isn't shadow there.
Okay, I'm assuming there's some corners or something in here.
Yeah.
Perception, you said, right?
Yes.
Hang on, not with disadvantage.
Not with disadvantage, so you have a crit. You can't see anything around waiting for you. There's no trap around this essence the others seem to be gathering around. And you do notice, kind of just chewing at your thumb, looking around, chewing at your thumbnail. Like, you see where you all just fell from is stone. It is the top of a cavern. There is a rope hanging out of the roof of this cavern now with a bucket kind of sitting on the water.
But is the rope still kind of like swaying? Like there's still space for... Okay.
It seems like a rope is stuck in the ceiling right now. There is no light peering in from the well you had fallen in from.
There's nothing else. There's no one around.
As whoever picks it up, I suppose.
Well, come on, you want to help around?
I would like to, if no one tries to shove me out of the way, I'd like to take Flotsam essence.
No, it's fine.
You grab another vibrant essence. Woo.
I'm just looking at his abilities now. I want to know what it does.
Yeah. That's the fun part
I'm curious.
about vibrant essence.
I'm not going to use it, but I'm curious.
No, let's hide everything else so you don't have to look at the outside world while you're in here.
Cool, but what does it do?
Oh, hey, Flotsam, what's your stat?
What does this do? That's sweet.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna look. I look to you, Comet.
Comet, may I see the shard?
Sure. I'll take it out of my belt pouch.
With the essence in front of me, I take the shard, and I say to Comet and everyone,
I just feel like maybe I should be the one to do it.
And I use Produce Flame, which creates bright light within, I believe, 10 feet. And I shine it through the shard at its essence.
You shine light through this essence, and its vibrancy becomes tenfold as Flotsam. Well, buddy, you coming back?
I'm here, hold on.
Whoa!
So I'll remove Floss's essence from the vibrant essence list so you don't have any more. Get rid of it.
Oh, yeah.
Darn, none of you got to use my cool ability.
Oh no, Fel, you're crackly as all
now I'm
that.
having second thoughts. Maybe we should now.
Is it health at 1 and then 1 point of exhaustion? Is that what it is?
No.
I forget what the...
When you're brought back by the Duskstone Shard, as per its description, you have revival sickness, rendering your maximum health to half what it was until you take a long rest. But I think you are up at 1. I think that's how we did it.
Mm-hmm.
But you said I am at 1?
You're at 1, and your
max.
maximum is halved. Until you take a long rest. Which
Is
doesn't
he
seem
blue now?
too possible. Oh, there's like a slight discoloration around like his waist where where his abdomen is, but it's very slight. Well, as slight as Flotsam would like it to be. It could be bright blue if you want it to be.
It's not gonna be bright.
It's your stomach.
If you want, you can make it purple since it was a red light that went.
Can I, if I can, you look at the, let me know if I can't do this, Cheeki. At this, like, around his, like, midsection, the area where he was ripped in half, there's, like, a small, thin line that is, like, purely reflective, like a mirror.
Ooh.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Just.
I can use this one now. Hang on. So you will see Flotsam back in front of you, bright eyes and
I have to change my
abdomen, glossy.
Do I have all the stuff that I had last when I died, like the spell slots that I died with, or?
Yeah, I would think so. You died in that state. You should be back in the.
I just wanted to make sure. Do I still have that sense that we talked about? Do I still get that?
That sixth sense feeling.
I'm crackly. Let me leave. I'm gonna leave and come right back to try and fix my audio.
Oh no!
Why does everything shift around like this? This ain't right.
Any better?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I still get the sense about that thing?
Yeah, I'll say you still get that sense about that thing.
I'm gonna look for a way out.
Unluckily for you and the rest of your homies, the way out. Well, you don't see any way out. You didn't know there was a hole in the roof before where a well once was, but you can see a bucket and a rope attached to the roof somehow, and you feel like you're in some sort of sewerage system. If you weren't in a well,
a rock or pebble somewhere around here? I grab it and I toss it or throw it at the ceiling where the rope is.
Clacks right off.
It's hanging from.
Clink. I look towards Raw, and then I look towards Flotsam, kind of gauging what's happening here, and I'm like, "You're back, Flotsam." What? I look around to make sure that he's alone.
Flotsam, I'm sorry. I failed you.
I'm gonna put my hand up to my mouth.
What?
Well, lack of
Okay.
lack of mouth.
He has a mouth now.
Just
He's a real boy.
Yeah.
Literally like this, so that everybody can see me doing it. And I'm going to pull the string for my violin and just like put it there. Do I get a sense of where that feeling may be coming from? Can I sense it anywhere in the room?
Not in this room. It is like you feel like you are in its house.
What?
Now,
That trace is a dumb idea. Nobody said that.
that's what your brain said right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and play that same note from the where I was.
Yeah, you can actively replicate a note. And as you do, you hear it exactly how you heard it before, minus the sick acoustics, but everyone else, it kind of hurts a little to hear this note. Like, it's a very uncomfortable, kind of like cringe note. Makes you cringe a little when you hear it.
The
cringe note. Yeah.
Cringe
I'm
note.
TMing that. The cringe note.
Kind of cringe, Flotsam.
He plays cringe note. Flotsam.
Flotsam forgot how to play the violin.
We all just laugh really loudly and going, ha! I hear coming back.
Cringe note. Cringe note.
It's fine. I'm sure he can learn again.
I
Have to remember how to play D&D, right?
Despair.
I'm trying to figure out I don't want bad things to happen.
Well, you are at 1 health.
I know.
You know you're at 1 health, so you probably feel a lot safer in this moment if you were healthy. So
I'm gonna. He looks screwed up, right?
Definitely. They, as much as like a mechanical man can show fatigue and hurt, there's no open wounds, but like they have like scuff marks everywhere, I suppose is how you can tell. They look anime damaged.
So how do healing potions affect a war for it?
100%, because I'm not willing to make any other thing.
You just
you pour on the wood.
dump it like Gatorade, like the coach at the the end of the Super Bowl.
Back, there's like a little, like a cork. There's like a little flap. You open it up, and then there's like a little, just like in a car, you know. Yeah. I fill her up with 2 health potions. I got 2 of them right now.
Crack them both
So I'm
above
gonna
his
roll
head.
for that. Let's see. That would be 4d4 plus 4.
Hell yeah.
So you'd get 16 hit points back.
Okay,
Easy.
that's up to like half of what I even can get anyway.
Yeah,
What would be the rest?
Get rid of that off.
So I have 45 is my thing. So 23, or sorry, yeah, like 23 or 22 would be my max that I can get up to.
Like 7
But
more.
I am gonna.
Oh, sorry.
go ahead.
I'm gonna. Because I know you can't communicate because you did this, right?
I don't want you guys to
So-
talk.
I'm not going to. I was going to cast Produce Flame and shape it in as a message. What languages does Flotsam speak? Do you speak Primordial?
Yeah, baby. I speak Primordial.
Hell yeah. So I'm going to do this in Primordial. And I'm going to ask,
Is this a safe way to communicate?
and then I'm going to do like a yes, like a Y and an N, and you can pick which one.
So I'm just gonna reach over quickly and grab Flotsam by the shoulder and just kind of pat you. Radiant energy, heal the rest of your health that you need.
Okay, so that's
You see as you produce this,
5,
the N
6.
gets slashed out.
Oh no!
Looking around now, like
Can I use with that note? I realize this is sort of retconning. Can I use one of my mantle of inspiration points to give myself 8? And hold on, let me look at
Absolutely.
It's 8 temporary hit points. I'll give it to myself. To myself, to the Hellion, to Adelaide, and to Comet.
Nice.
And I want to move slowly into the next chamber.
So Flotsam comes back, tells you all to shush, and you see them wander off. You wander into this chamber, and you can see that the southern passage seems to bend around some way. If I could keeping it well.
Do you gesture for us to follow? Do you do like the stop and then come up?
And in case it shouldn't be clear, you would probably be able to guess this. I want you all to please be careful right now.
What?
Upon moving in the room, does the feeling that I have changed at all?
Not really, no.
And this black I don't know if you can see that. Is this a wall that's there? Like this is a wall?
Yes.
Okay.
All blackness is wall.
If that's the case, then I am going to. I mean, I don't know how useful this would be, but I'm going to go ahead and tap Flotsam, Silas, Raw. If somebody else is close to me, I can do one more. I'll do Viridian, and they all get 300 feet of dark vision.
The room lights up in ways you couldn't imagine.
I imagine that outside of our irises all have this sort of like ring of like light around it. Like
you all have yellow rings like Comet around your actual eyes.
You just see Silas's eyes just go and just become black.
Your pupils just envelop the entire eyeball.
Let in the most light that way.
If I look down this corridor, do I see anything different?
No, it just seems to be leading off around the corner, and you'd have to like kind of get in the water, however deep it might be, to venture that way to see more, or send anything that could help you to see that way to check for you, I suppose.
Sorry, I have a kitten who's going
That's
insane.
totally fine. I know the feel.
I'm gonna take my hat, and toss it over to, Ra, really quick, and just give her like a nod to just say, just trust me, and I'm just gonna jump in the water.
Alright. You sink all the way about up to like your pecs before your feet hit the ground. But you do feel the bottom.
And do I see anything else?
Nothing in the water, but you can definitely see that it it's a sheer right angle from here. You do think you'd have to round the corner to really see where this water might lead to.
Did Flotsam tell us to stop following him?
I'm waiting for him to like.
Yeah, I'll hold up my hand to throw me the hat.
I toss it back.
And I'm gonna gesture for them to follow.
And
I'll look to Comet and just kind of give a nod, like.
I will make a note for Fel that Silas is being like a little too close to you.
Like right, breathing down his neck almost.
Up his neck.
Does not want to let him be alone.
You've got like lay on hands on lock, ready to go.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I saw that kid, Fel. Can't hide it.
I know she's having a difficult time being down here because there's a lot of wires, and she found my dice bag, so she's having a good time. I mean, I want to progress, Cheeki, but if there's a chance that I have that feeling again, I just let me know, because I'm gonna be trying to be vigilant for it.
All right, yeah. I'll tell you when it kicks into overdrive. But
maximum overdrive.
You feel safe enough to progress into the next where this water's kind of leading, which you see to be this area.
Okay. So there's no wall here. This is all water that goes down here.
Yeah, it's still like a circularly kind of curved hallway, but like wherever there is pitch blackness, that is a wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll try to make my way in the water as well.
Like turn off the grid completely because it's really contrasting with the darkness. There we go.
I mean, with that in mind, I'm gonna try to enter the next like room.
Yeah, you get to the platforms and like kind of hoist yourselves out of the water. Now
Lots of sloshing.
half wet, unless someone casts something to walk on the water or does stuff to stay out of the water.
Right.
You can see the grating up to the north that leads back to the other area. It just seems like a natural river that they've built upon to get their water at some point. And you can see the cavern seems to lead southward into a more like natural underground cave. Has stalagmites and tights kind of everywhere. And I have to zoom out to reveal the rest. Seems rather large and in charge.
Anything but that.
Yeah, you don't want that. It seems like a rather large underground cave that has its own little pool of water to the southeast of it. But then seems to continue up northward. Up here, I guess, because it's still black. Seems to continue off that way.
Right.
Cheeki, I feel free to not answer this, but I want to know about if there was a sense of urgency that I got in the previous place where I was, in terms of what was being sought, if that makes sense.
Not really. There was a sense of eagerness, but not like anything was running out of time.
Okay. I want to move. I don't think I'm in a position to continue forward as it is. Both Flotsam and also me, because I have to leave soon. But seeing that is there anything that I would notice about the cavern, specifically just from like the vantage point that I have?
Not from here. It does look that like whatever this is, they might have been going to build more into it. Whatever like natural platforms, well, built platforms you're on right now, it looks like they were going to continue them into here, but haven't yet. You think? But in terms of anything that would stop Flotsam, not really. Like nothing's jumping out, screaming for him to like stop in the sense of danger.
I guess I want to turn to all of them, and I know that we've come this far, but I want to try and like move them back to the entrance area, having seen that like the length of the cavern. So like seeing it there, I'm gonna like stop at like the precipice and like the liminal space, the like archway. I'm gonna listen for like a hot second, and then I'm going to try and play that note again, see if anything changes.
Going all the way back to the first one?
No, I want to stand here before anything else.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Try and play that note again.
You play it again, and just like before, everyone gets like the cringe in the back of their neck. Just this note is not fun to hear. Flotsam, you hear it as just like a normal, calming note, and like kind of halfway.
But they
hate it.
But they hate it.
Yeah, they do not like it. But for you, it's normal. Like you can see their face. They showed it before, and even now you play it. They're just not liking it.
Has this been a note I've played before?
No, it's a pretty unique note. but like you don't know when you would ever use it in a song. But like to you, it sounds rather neat. But like halfway through, you like playing it down. As you get like halfway through the bow, you see the strings on your violin kind of buckle a little, as if someone like grabbed the shaft of your violin to stop it. Something.
All right.
Probably who you suspect does not like hearing this note.
We have to move. We have to keep moving forward. Never mind. Oh God. We're gonna have to keep moving forward.
Nothing would stop you from continuing northward.
My thought was, should we go back and let me rest? But knowing now what that tells me, I don't think that that's a good idea. So we have to keep. I mean, I'm gonna move. As that like thing stops. I'm gonna look back at my friends who are like clearly discomforted, like by the notes specifically, and I'm just gonna be like, center yourselves, just like a
chill.
I'm gonna like I don't have like a watch, but I'm gonna make a I'm going to make a I think I have conjure. Hold on, let me see what spells I have. I think I have minor illusion. I do have minor illusion. I'm gonna do like a minor illusion to like right here, like over my chest, to show like a little clock. Are there clocks?
Yeah, yeah. You have like pocket watches. Yeah.
I'm gonna show like a time thing, like ticking, and then it's gonna morph into the 5 of them. I'm going to like snuff out the minor image, and then I'm gonna have to tell them to like follow me, and I'm going to move quicker into the.
So you all wander in with your confusing directions given to your very uneasy tour guide. I will say throughout all this you can like maybe squeeze in a short rest just from being around and kind of picking up yourself and kind of just tending to yourself, but definitely not like there's no way you could sleep down here even with your like trance-like sleep.
I want to sort of like tug on Flotsam's sleeve to stop him for a moment, and when you look back, I gesture to my sword. Like I have my swords out, and I gesture like
as if to use your
flame on.
Should I get this flame on? Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're like, when you do that, I realize battle. So I'm gonna.
When I see the sword's light, I put on my helmet.
Alright.
Pull out the greatsword.
You continue into the cavern, seeing it wind off, and nothing at all stops you as you wander through here, picking up the stagnant dust from the ground as if no one's been in here for like a little bit.
I think only Flotsam would, because past that trace leaves no tracks.
No, yeah.
Magical wise. Yeah.
You wander up northward through this place, and that sense of like uneasiness, Flotsam, kind of gets very immense as you walk through here, and those of you with your dark visions and the flames of the swords especially light up this ornately chiseled wall right in front of you with a just as ornate looking stone door etched right into it, as if someone has built a wall into this wall out of... It looks like a different stone as well, like there's a lot of marblage to this wall that there isn't in the rest of the walls around here. And this huge stone door that seems to have some kind of circular thing in the middle with weirdly ornate patterns carved into it.
And these don't look familiar to us?
Not especially. I mean, you recognize the stone as what they would be, but any of these symbols and what they might be, not really.
Okay.
Silas just mouths, "What the fuck?"
Hmm.
I just look for Flotsam for guidance, because apparently he's leading us somewhere.
I want to walk up to the door.
Don't leave the metal man alone!
Yeah, we're right behind Flotsam the whole time.
He's normally pretty baby, but now he's especially baby.
You walk up, and you kind of, like, instinctively kind of just know how this kind of works. You reach up and kind of just twist the middle signet, and it seems to, like, after a certain point start spinning on its own until it, like, recesses into the door and drag the two halves open as you are met with some candlelight as your vision kind of adjusts to this well-lit room and, like, the slightest sound of some, like, music coming from somewhere. Like, it's almost as if it's like 3 rooms away you're hearing music as this room opens and you see in front of you basically this on the other side. A rather opulent looking room that has, like, banners kind of along the wall, a very nice looking table set up with a lot of, like, gold and trinkets and random stuff strewn about it, as sitting at the very end is this figure with this long, somewhat dirty blonde hair, and this, like, almost suit, but not really. And it looks like they're wearing a much larger version of the elk masks the others were. Well, it is an elk mask, but theirs were just, like, bone masks. And as well as your friend, the lurker, being here. Oh no.
Oof. Yeah. He's back.
No, we were good. We lost Groovy. Oh no, it's switching. We lost someone.
They killed Groovy.
They killed Groovy. They stole him.
No!
Yeah, I think Nuggets is coming back.
It's alright. Hang on. Same.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
You go, buddy.
I don't know what
Oh, good.
happened.
Okay.
Sweet. You're good?
Ooh.
And yeah, they stand up, kind of that same beckoning feeling you felt, Flotsam, intensifying a lot as the kind of mental image is replaced by a physical one, as they gesture for all of you to come inside and splays his arms out as if, like, offering a seat, but not really. You can see on the table, as well as, like, gold and random offerings you feel like people have given them, is, like, food that was once cooked, but is just left there to kind of rot as if no one had touched it at all.
I'm just gonna look very panicked at Flotsam.
Hands are, like, gripping my sword, that I'm waiting. Just wait for the word, wait for it to go down.
I step forward, and I'll take my place at this side of the table. You have your audience.
You guys steps out from the side of it. Definitely taller than the rest of you, but, like, maybe a bit under the height of Comet. Probably reaching near the same height, with the horns being, like, almost another foot taller. And he kind of drags his fingernails along the chairs as he, like, kind of walks past. And
Not gonna not. Those are my friends. Don't walk towards them.
Don't walk close to them.
Don't get close.
And
The great sword is shaking, and I'm standing next to Flotsam.
he kind of definitely walks up, and rather than the wispier voice they seem to speak to you before, this one is a lot more piercing and physical. As they so you got like weapon out, right? Like you're kitted up. You like
Weapon and helmet on.
walks over, almost like poking at the top of your sword, like moving it a little. I see you've done well, Flotsam, bringing exactly who I wanted you to bring.
And I too intend to keep good on my promise.
He cocks his large mask at you. Oh, they're this close. You can tell it is definitely not a mask, though. There seems to be an empty abyss behind any cracks of the mask. His like torso even bony and skeletal-like under his cloak or cloak suit he's wearing. Like Bankai Ichigo-esque, if you had to use a reference. You promised them a lot, Flotsam?
What was that? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
You promised them a lot, Flotsam.
I'm not going to respond to him.
At this point, I'm gonna say something. I like get up on the table, and I'm not attacking or trying to threaten, but I do loudly say like,
What the fuck is the deal? What's going on? Can somebody explain to me what's going on?
They seem to look up at you curiously as you've pounced on their table. You all have things very valuable to what I need.
What do you need?
Well, the same thing I took from your friend. He gestures to Flotsam. The same thing I've been taking from these villagers. Reaches up a hand, kind of grasping at the air as this, it kind of creates like a small vacuum in his hand as he draws air into it. We need essence.
Okay. Why?
Well...
Vampire or something?
Vampire. Its shoulders kind of vibrate up and down as it seems to laugh at the notion of vampires. We're not vampires. No. We're bringing on a new dawn around here. We need to feed them. They need to be stronger.
Them?
He waves his hand as you ask them, like suddenly snapping his gaze towards you, and you all kind of get like this piercing headache as you like see something come. You're familiar with being out here, but you feel like you're kind of all a satellite around the Earth or whatever celestial body you're on, as you're seeing like something kind of plummeting down onto it before like your headache kind of flashes again and you're back in this room. How music go? Scared. It's too quiet.
You're scared.
No, I don't like talking
Scared
about
himself.
it. I gotta turn. Very
Silas
quiet.
is gonna use Divine Sense, just real quick.
It's a good idea.
What does it say? Yeah, post them in chat. Let's see what you can discern with this. That's better. That's got some good music. Eddie. You definitely get like the celestial feel, but more in like actual celestial rather than like angel celestial, like something from space celestial. Some like I guess it would be deep speech celestial-esque.
And is this ground consecrated or desecrated?
It definitely, I guess not in the terms of like any of the spells to desecrate it, but definitely desecrated. In the sense of just not good.
Right.
Yeah, very aberrant.
The energy.
Other than the fact it is literally like a celestial from space-esque energy, it is aberration in terms of D&D, I would suppose.
Right.
I think that's nice that you're letting Divine Sense cover aberrations, because like that would also be something paladins would fight against.
Right.
So, okay, was that big balloon hitting the planet?
He shakes his head, kind of stepping back a little. No, I don't know what big blue is you're talking about.
It's the name of the thing that's in the sky, the big blue thing. Is that your doing? Did you do that?
He shakes his head and kind of walks back, kind of chuckling to themselves again. He's like, That's an egg. And your minds kind of do that kind of flash thing again as, like, you see in, like, this just cyan ocean, this kind of small embryo-esque looking thing, kind of like thumb with a bit of life, before you get the same piercing brain sensation that leads you back here. That is what hungers.
And it needs essences?
Are you feeding that, or are you preparing against that? What is your aim?
Oh, I'm feeding it. Well, more accurately, everyone around here has been feeding it. You have all already fed it. It just wants more. But your essence is powerful, valuable, delicious. It's tasted all of you.
Oh.
I didn't consent to that. That's kind of gross.
I kind of put my hand on Flotsam's shoulder. I say, I don't know what that is, but it's not gonna get any of us.
No comment.
I'm talking to the bone guy, but
He kind of turns back, skewing his head, and he's like, but it already has. As you get the same kind of flash of the time you fell off a bridge and were somehow okay when you woke up.
Oh no! Oh,
You can go fall off a bridge and get up fine. No one questioned why your health was full.
oh no!
Before you, same headache, rushed back here. The village above has been feeding night after night after night. Essence, albeit small, minuscule. Your essence each is like a banquet to them.
And then imagine how your essence will taste.
With that, Silas is going to thrust his sword into it.
I wanted to play that same note again and do Mantle.
You both definitely can.
Yeah.
With Mantle, who did I not hit? Viridian, Silas, Adelaide, the Hellion. 8 points.
You got me
HP.
already.
Yeah.
I know,
Oh,
but
actually,
I want to
use
give
that because I
I want to give the movement reaction thing to move wherever it is that you want.
All right. Cool.
And with that, I do have to go. I don't know.
I think pre-boss battle might be just the best note to end on.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We'll
Literally,
save
the
right
best
here.
note to end on.
Silas gets free attack next week.
That's actually it.
Yeah, next
Just
session.
Immediate level 2 smite right off the bat.
There we go, just in case we forget.
I'm gonna write some notes for myself too. I got a reaction move, and
Oh
where'd
no!
I go? Do we all get a surprise round?
No, since Silas and Flotsam kind of seized initiative, they get the sneaky
Hoping
slap.
If I'm using my bonus action, if it'd be okay for me to use
Sure.
my action as well as if it were my turn. I don't know what exactly it is.
Hey, we can wait till next week to figure out what you want to do.
Yeah, that's right.
I was also gonna say, during that whole speech between Flotsam and whatever this deer boy, which I'm now dubbing it
The King of Elk, okay?
King of Elk, deer boy.
Okay.
His eyes were slowly, from the middle, turning blue as he was realizing that this is the thing he has to kill to save everything.
And I want to use my. Can I use my? I'm going to use my action. I'll just let you know to cast protection against good and evil on Silas.
All right.
Which, if this thing is a celestial, will protect them.
All right.
Also aberrations, which I think is what this thing actually is.
Yeah, I think it. I'm calling them celestial because that's just way cooler than
Right. In terms of D&D,
Outworlder. He's an outworlder.
Yeah, it's literally out of this world, which is
It's pretty
out of this world.
out of this world.
You
dog.
could
Sure.
I hope you all understand that there's a reason that we had to do this now. I don't know if you realize that immediately, but we couldn't wait to fight these people.
I mean, I guess we'll find out later if Flotsam can talk afterwards.
Also, I think that also just kind of the fact that we've all died definitely puts Silas on oh no, but puts me at least on a little bit of ease because with everything that we were theorizing at the end of the campaign of the people when we destroy the blue moon eventually, which I think is the goal. We had the theory bouncing around that we might die if we were resurrected by it.
Yeah, at least now you know you will all die.
Yeah, if that is true, we will all die at the same time. I don't know. I get the feeling that destroying the moon or the big blue.
Well, the egg.
We're not going to get a chance.
It's an egg.
It's going to hatch before we can try that. So we'll see.
I think we're gonna have to
eat the egg before it hatches.
I've cooked many eggs in this campaign. Let's do it again.
This is the ultimate egg.
All right,
we forge a frying pan big enough for big blue.
We'll get the blacksmith to do that back at the end.
Radiant
Say goodbye to everyone at home too. Yeah. There goes Fel.
Yeah, we'll drag this down and we'll jump on the other screen real quick. Just so we still have faces. Really need to.
Fuck.
Fine.
Hey, we get to test your new battle music next episode.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We can make that officially this thing's
you know what? You know what? Also, I just, not to plug myself, I guess, but I just made music for literally illithids in Spelljammer, which are the mind flayers, but in space. This thing's an outworlder. That could also be a fun thing to use.
I'll have to give it a peep.
Yeah.
Look at the lurkers still just chilling here.
Able to do that.
Very worried about that.
Nobody even mentioned the poor guy.
He is.
I know what I'm
lurker.
doing next session.
He was lurking.
Lurking. Oh man.
He's the real mastermind.
Well, yeah. Oh my god.
Whew. Well, at least we got Flotsam back, right? That's the best part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got our buddy back.
I was going to have a thing
also,
where the
there's,
well
like, an
wasn't going to
ancient-
be there, but, like, I was like, if I take away the well, it's going to take, like, 10 hours longer for them to, like, come back and then find the well's there again. So it's just like, I thought the well's there.
Yeah, we already took so long. If the well wasn't there, it would have been the whole session.
Yeah, don't mind.
Also, there's apparently
Celestial.
ancient ruins underneath my podunk farming town.
Yeah.
Also a sewer system?
Well, I mean, it's an underground river. It's more just
Okay.
stability down here.
It seems like there's two architects. There were some people building some sort of sewer system, and they never finished. And then there's this guy's little area, which I think he built after the fact.
As another note, from a player standpoint, if we win, we got a lot of gold upgrades. Yo.
Exactly.
That's what Meridian's looking at, yeah.
There's our motivation.
Motivation for the people who don't want to protect their friends. Viridian.
Well, I mean, double motivation.
It's just an added benefit, like,
Yeah.
well, I need some gold if you're saving your friend.
I'm just saying that
Just a
because
little
Whirlwind
extra.
is here, and we all know that's your only friend.
Oh no.
Gold
So
won't
far.
leave me in the middle of the night.
Yeah, his oldest friend. I mean, he's
Comet's
pretty cool.
everyone's
Comments talk to Whirlwind. He's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, Whirlwind is everyone else's friend. Like, Whirlwind is a part of the party more than Meridian.
Yeah, Viridian's a part of the party because he's friends with Whirlwind.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you invite a friend over you haven't met your new friend group. It's like that.
Whirlwind still hasn't
That's it,
given up
got it.
any of his backstory, though, so that's...
Yeah, that's true.
Whirlwind's being very stubborn.
He's only got to tell it to one person. Just wait till he has the audience.
He's mysterious, guys. Like, he's shy.
He's the mysterious rogue.
He's the rogue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, Viridian's been the minion character this entire time. You've actually
Yeah.
had like the big character sheet for Whirlwind, right?
Yeah.
Viridian is Whirlwind's hireling. Oh my god.
This is canon. I grant this canon.
Alright.
Yeah, Whirlwind
Well-
came to me.
We should get out of here.
Yeah,
I'm
let
hungry.
the people out home go.
Woo.
Man.
Shavla.
It doesn't even end with this. Like, there's still so much more.
Yeah,
It only gets worse.
we're
There's, like-
fighting a deer alien.
There's
And
like-
his minion that's invincible.
There's like 4 different conversations that I need to have now.
Right?
Yeah. You need to give us like 5 sessions to just have like long rests and talks.
Hey, when you get back, oof,
Oh.
you can take your time before going anywhere else, really.
And now I'm like, oh, maybe Flotsam didn't see what I saw in the afterlife because of everything that he's saying here.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It was real different, dude.
Yeah.
I get the feeling this was extremely different.
Alright. Well, we'll get out of here.
All right then.
So,
Bye, everybody at home.
Next-
Hope you had fun.
Next week is 25, quarter of 100.
Yeah.
Going for the big numbers. I don't know.
Wow.
Well, that's
Our goal
relevant.
is 100. Get us to 100
Get us to
episodes.
100
Van
episodes. I wouldn't be
God.
surprised, actually. I probably could drag it out that long. Alright. See you, gents.
Goodbye.
Bye.